Friends, it is the holiday season, and this holiday, I am particularly remembering a story of Julie Tennant. Julie is all grown up now, a woman with Down syndrome, but when I was doing research for my first book, Common Threads, I first encountered Julie, and her mom recapped the story of when Julie was a little girl. And she was really looking forward to, as a little girl, grocery shopping with her mom. It was one of her favorite activities because she got to ride in the front seat of the grocery cart. And her mom distinctly remembers a day, it was a cold day, where they were shopping and going through and getting all the goodies for the family meal. And then they got to the checkout line, and Julie was in the front, and her mom then noticed a disgustingly dirty man, as she described it, walked in the grocery store. She said he looked homeless. It looked like he obviously hadn't shaved in days. And she says, I wasn't going anywhere to find out because I knew that he probably smelled. He had a wrinkled tan trench coat, and he had a hat all too dirty to make out its original color. And Julie's mom said, how unnecessary this was, she thought. She said, we have some of the best homeless stations in the country. This man could at least gone there and made himself look presentable. Well, she was going to unpack the stuff in order to put on the grocery checkout counter, and she took Julie out of the front seat, put her on the ground, and then all of a sudden Julie dashed, and she went right towards that man with her arms outstretched, and he bent down and picked her up. Julie's mom said her heart panicked. She ran over to the man and she grabbed him back. She said, excuse me, this is my child. And then all of a sudden she stopped. And it's a moment she could still remember now, decades later. The man looked her in the eyes and said, ma'am, I can't remember the last time someone wanted to hold me. Julie, a little girl with Down syndrome, saw hurt and she hugged it. Julie saw pain and she relieved it. More importantly, Julie saw sameness where others saw difference. This holiday season, we have a world that is full of hurt, pain, and anger for many people around the world. And I know so many of you are personally affected. People with Down syndrome continue to remind us of who we are. They teach us the important essence of being human. You know, those of us who have loved ones with Down syndrome in our lives, we realize we're the students after all. They're the teachers. And our message, I think, as a community to everyone out there is, if you don't know someone with Down syndrome already, get to know them, because they truly do teach us important lessons, like Julie did when she was younger. You know, in our Mass General Hospital Down syndrome program, we feel so lucky to be working with so many patients with Down syndrome and their families. We have three basic pillars of work that we do. One is our clinical work. We see more than 700 patients with Down syndrome of all ages, from young little infants all the way up to seniors with Down syndrome. And we provide that multidisciplinary care together with them and their parents and their family to make sure they get the medical care that they deserve. We also, as a team, spend a lot of time doing education. You know, this past year we looked and we had nearly 90 learners follow us in clinic. Who are they? They are genetic counseling students. These are students who one day will grow up in order to give a prenatal and postnatal diagnosis of Down syndrome. Before they do so, they get to meet our families and shadow us in clinic to learn the real stories and meet the real people behind the diagnoses. We also have medical students who follow us. We have residents, we have fellows, and our team members this past year have been on the road both locally and nationally in order to give lectures and educate fellow clinicians and fellow family members. And the third pillar that we do is research. We want tomorrow to be better than it is today for all people with Down syndrome. And that is why we collaborate with researchers around the globe to bring opportunities to families. We have lots of research opportunities, and as a site, we have even been a site for upcoming and potentially promising clinical trials to address Alzheimer's disease in patients with Down syndrome. We will continue to do the research with you because it is so important for our loved ones with Down syndrome. On behalf of all of us at the MGH Down syndrome program, I want to wish you a happy holidays. We cannot and would not do this without you. To the extent you have the possibility, we would appreciate your donation. Your donation goes a long way in making sure that we can continue our clinical work, our education work, and our research work. I hope you have a peaceful holiday. Thank you.